Who's cool in H-Town? I thank you for tuning in to another episode of Foxxx Files, Cold and Unsolved. This is my show where I highlight the many cold case murders here in Houston, Texas, through my segment of My Beautiful Souls. And then I'll move on over to Dear Sister, a letter to let you know that you are not forgotten. And that is my segment where I highlight the many murders, rapes, kidnappings, and our missing sisters. I'm Cass, H-Town's Army Brat. Let's get at it. Again, I thank you so much for tuning in to another one of my shows. That means that you are engaged. That means that you are interested in getting information. And maybe you might be interested in putting some information out there. And that is wonderful. I still haven't received any emails, which is okay. But if you can't get, the email, then be up here by all means. Leave a comment on my YouTube channel on YouTube and also like and also subscribe. My kids told me I need to say that. So I'm saying subscribe and like my channel. And also watch the shows because they are informative shows. These the shows that I record are the ones that I want us to know about because we don't know about. How do we know about something that happened in the 70s? We weren't even here in the 70s. But the situation that happened in the 70s still haunts us today because it has not been taken care of in the 70s, in the 80s, the 90s, the millennium. So here we are, you know, 70s, 60s, 50s, 30s, 20s, 2000, 2010. These are cold cases. So that's what Foxxx Files Cold and Unsolved is about. And I'm glad, again, like I say, I'm glad you tuned in. And thank you. If you are here again, this is, I think, episode number 4. They are far and, too far in between for my taste. So I'm building up my platform. I keep saying, I've said it before. Things happen. So I'm building up my platform to where my acoustics will be better. The visuals will be better. But I got to start somewhere. And I'm starting here because I need to get these stories out. And if you have seen my show before, and is abreast to the things that I do on my show, is informative. And I always like to start the show off with a did you know something educational wise, something that you can take away, saying that okay, well no, I didn't actually know this, but now I do. And thank you, Cass, H-Town's Army Brat. We appreciate that. So, like I say, I do my Did You Know segment, and that is the first thing we talk about when I'm on. And my Did You Know today is about, uh, y'all, my signal's kind of low, there's an airplane flying over, so it's choppy. Don't charge it to me, y'all. All right, so did you know? Let's say it together, guys. Deoxyribonucleic acid. That is DNA. And did you know that vaginal secretions and seminal fluids can produce DNA? They do. Deoxyribonucleic acid. Believe it or not, I practiced that word. I did. I practiced and I still can't get deoxyribonucleic acid. Right, that is DNA. So it is the molecule. It's the nucleic acid that is contained in genetic information for cell growth, division, and function. I have this molecule that carries genetic information for development and function of an organism, meaning that each individual has their own sequence of cells that equals up to the personal genetics of that person. Everybody has their own personal genetic data. Everybody has their own personal DNA. And you cannot fake DNA. You can't fake it. When we sweat, when we spit, or when we relieve ourselves in any manner, we secrete our own individual genetic data. We secrete it. We let it out. It's here. It's there. It's everywhere. When you speak, a lot of times you're letting out a miss. You say certain letters, certain words, you're letting out a miss. So therefore, you're leaving behind today that which is individualized to yourself. And again, like I said, you can't create this. So with that being said, when body fluids is left behind at a crime scene or left on a victim, it will be made easier for the medical examiner or the forensic scientist, whoever is trying to figure out the match to this sample. It's made easier now because they have your personalized genetic breakdown. And this genetic data can survive as long as 521 years. This is what the data shows, that it can survive 521 years. So, I cannot sit up here and say somebody's going to open up a 500-year-old case, find out, unless it was something historically, significant about the situation, about the case. But other than that, I don't see that. But it can last for 521 years. So don't think that you did something 30 years ago, you can play with it, because then they didn't know about DNA. Then they didn't even have, the public, I'll say, didn't know much about DNA. Behind the scenes, the scientists, the medical examiners, the officers, stuff like that, they knew about it, but we didn't know about DNA 30 years ago. So we are learning it now, and some of us are learning it in the hard way. But that's on us. That's on you. So regardless of the time frame, when the genetic evidence is collected, it can be compared to the DNA database. And I'm saying regardless of the time frame, because it's up to 521 years. You're not going to last that long. So regardless of the time frame, up to 521 years, your genetic data will still be viable for genetic research. It is what it is. So when it comes to crimes being committed, people don't think about the minuscule evidence that they leave behind. Very, 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 very tiny. Like I'm talking now. You get this microphone, take it down there, this little sleeve deal, and then do your thing and you'll find it. I'm on here. I'm here. Here I am. Because as you speak, you secrete. As you it is what it is. So I'm saying. So did you know that deoxyribonucleic acid, which is DNA, can last up to 521 years and help solve cases? And it brings me to my segment of what I hold dear to heart, and I hold it dear to heart because it's here in my city, in Houston, Texas. The cold cases, these souls that are not laid to rest. I mean, they're laid to rest, but the souls are not put to rest because they cannot get to rest. How can you rest when your murder is still linked, your murderer is still out here or whatever, and your murder has not been solved? So therefore, you are not at peace because you still have things left here on this plane, in this plane to do. Whatever your belief is, whatever you got, these souls are not at rest because they were not taken away and they were not put to rest. I know you understand what I'm saying. I'm not going to get into that. So that's why I hold my beautiful souls dear to heart, because I want to put the energy to rest in my city. Of course, every city and every state and every country has their own cold cases, have their own murders, have their own robberies, have their own everything. But I'm not there. I'm here. So I can only speak of how to heal Houston. I want to heal my city. I love my city. I adore my city. You know what I mean? So I want everything to be peaceful here in my city. I don't need natural disasters and all that stuff and all these. We gotta look. Like I said, I'm not gonna go no deeper than that. Anyway, as I digress. So my beautiful soul today, ladies and gentlemen, my beautiful soul is Miss Erica Ann Garcia. Erica Ann Garcia. My headline reads, "From Teenage Club to Abandoned High School. Justice for Erica" by Cass. Erica. Erica Ann Garcia, known by her family and her friends as Tweety, was an eighth grade student at Middle School. Excuse me, Sharpstown Middle School. She was a promising student, and she had just joined the cheerleading school. Just joined it. Just made the cheerleading school. Retired HPD officer Sergeant Derek Spire, who worked as a security guard at Sharpstown Middle School, when Erica attended, says that he remembers Erica telling him that she was tired of living the life that she was living and that she wanted to make a change. And this is the reason why she joined the cheerleading squad. Everyone knows when you're a cheerleader, you cannot have really any other kind of activities outside of here and school and home. That's it. So she was trying to focus her life on being a better person, making better choices, and having a better life. So that is why her family, her mother, her aunt, and her family cannot understand that. How is it on the night of June 6th of 1997, when Erica and her boyfriend were dropped off at the teen nightclub called New Dimensions, which was on Beach Nut back in 1997. Her aunt dropped her and her boyfriend off at the club, and all her little friends was outside waiting on her and him to come. So what happened? It's no secret that Erica lived a fast life. It's no secret. In the 90s, everyone knows that gang activity was at an all-time high. There was so many gangs in Houston alone that they didn't have to come search for you to join their gang. 9 times out of 10, you're going to go walk up to them and be interested in joining the gang yourself. So that's where it laid at. That's where it was back in 1997. And poor Erica had had enough. She didn't want that life anymore. So she told this police officer at school. Now, this officer is friendly with Erica. There's no way a police officer at the school is friendly with you unless you have gotten her attention on several occasions. So therefore, that's what I mean. It says that she had a fast life. So how is it that she does not come home from this club on June 6, 1997, from hanging with her friend, hanging with her boyfriend, her loved one? So of course, her family gets up. She's not here. They call the police. The police is all with that nonsense 24-hour mess. This 24-hour thing, I don't care. I'm telling you, my daughter is 3 hours late from being at home. You need to get out there and go find her, because she's supposed to be home 3 hours ago. Let me deal with whatever the situation is if she's not with, dead or injured, and she's somewhere she don't have to be. You let me handle that. But I need you to help me find her. Don't give me no 24 hours. And so that's what they were facing. 24 hours. She ain't been gone, this and that. We already know how she is. I'm assuming she could have had some affiliation with the authorities already. She was troubled. I ain't gonna say troubled, but she was bad. Fast life. Gang life. So on the morning of June 7th, 1997, there's this abandoned hospital in A-League, Texas. Just the south side of Texas. South side of Houston, A-League. It's an abandoned hospital there. I couldn't get any images of this hospital that was still that accurate images. Like images that I pulled up of this hospital to give me abandoned hospital, different ones. So I didn't want to give you just the image of an abandoned hospital. And then for some reason, they won't let me save the image. Well, no, it was a video. But I did anyway. So the morning of, I lost my thought. The morning of June 7th, I'm human, 1997 at 7:25 a.m. The security guard who was working the area of the hospital sees that the door leading to the hospital is open, which is unusual. So of course he goes on in, cautiously walking. And when he goes in, he discovers the dead body of a young girl laid in the building, just laid out there, you know what I mean, in this hospital. So He immediately calls the authorities out. And when they come, they immediately recognize that this is, in fact, young Erica Garcia, whose parents had just called and said that she was missing, who just said that she didn't come home last night, and you told me to wait 24 hours. Okay? What does that make sense? How does that make sense? So they need answers. You know what I'm saying? They need answers. And like I said, Sergeant Spire, who I'm showing right here, he's the guy who knew her at the middle school. Now, Detective Raymond Cervantes, who is the officer investigating, the investigator of the case, says that he knows for a fact of two individuals, for a fact of two individuals who has something to do with this. Because, as I did not say, as I said already, but this poor Erica was murdered. She was brutally raped by multiple men and strangled with her own pants. So she was gang raped and then strangled by her own panties. So Detective Cervantes says he knows there's for a fact two individuals that know what happened to young Erica that night. And how does he know that? Because the oxyribonucleic acid that was left behind at the scene, that was left behind on the victim, that was possibly left behind in the victim, on her panties, around the crime scene, around the body, on the body, seminal fluid. That's why my first statement in my did you know is, did you know that vaginal and secretion and seminal fluid will produce DNA? It will produce it. There's no way around it, because that is your personalized genetic data. You, not me, not her, not him, not them. It's you. So two individuals at least have left their deoxyribonucleic acid, deoxyribonucleic acid. I think I said it right, but DNA. At least two people have left their DNA or some type of evidence around the crime scene or on this poor baby to let them Detective Cervantes know that, you know what, I know at least two of y'all that's involved. But this is 1997, y'all. 1997. There was no, you know what I'm saying, like known DNA stuff going on back in 1997. It's 2022 now, y'all. Oh, this cat's out there fighting that. Well, I almost ran. I'm about to take off. That's like, wow. Anyway, it just took me off guard. So here we are, 25 years later, and there still has been no arrest in this heinous crime. We already know we have two people that could be involved. So why have we not talked to these two individuals? Because they didn't get DNA situations back in 2022 H-Town, 2022 H-Town. What are we going to do? What do we want to do? Do we want to still let this case sit here and let her poor mother, she's grieving. You know, like I said, I can't find any images of this hospital, but the hospital has since been torn down. And it's just an open field, big open field. And this is where her family goes to feel close to her. This is where her family goes to, I guess, commune with her and communicate with her, depending on your beliefs. You know, this is all they have left of their poor daughter, their poor niece. And Annie is torn to shreds. Why is the Annie torn to shreds, Cass? You ask? Because she dropped the girl off at the club. Annie trusted the dude. She would drop her off at the club with the friends. So of course Annie is up. The shred is torn to shreds. You know, so when authorities asked the friends if they do anything, oh my gosh, it was like hush puppies. Hush puppies. Only one person that they have on record saying that. I was catching the bus home from the club that night. I told Erica, I'm catching the bus. Do you want to ride with me? Erica said, no, I already have a ride home. So I got on the bus and went home. And I don't fault young girl for doing that. Like I say, Erica's 14. This young girl like 14, 15 as well. She in the streets on the bus at nighttime, catching the bus from the club. But it's neither here nor there. She had to go home. She went home. She went home. By any means. So she didn't want to get herself caught up in no situation. That's what she claimed. Now, that's the story. If it's true, she did the right thing by going home and being where she needed to be. But I feel like she probably should have got a bit more information about who's picking my friend up. A bit more information about where you're going with this person. You know what I'm saying? Do your mama know? A bit more information about this situation, or drag her on the bus too. You know what I'm saying? But I can't tell you how to be friends. That's how I would have done my friend. You know what I'm saying? Honestly, truthfully. Because I don't want to catch the bus by myself either. So we've done this together and you got to hang out whatever tomorrow because it's too late. Anyway, as I digress. So like I said, it's 2022. We know at least 2 people. It's at least 2 people. I know it's 4 because if you're in a gang and you already know what it takes to get in the game. It's the 90s. I grew up from Army Brat, but so in the 90s, I'm a teenager. 97, 17 years old, 97. So I know of talk of the game. Now, I was not in the game. Don't think I'm gonna have it at the fuck. Beat the brakes. Shut up with that. But I know, I knew people that were in games. I knew people affiliated with gangs. You know what I'm saying? So I knew stories. And we watch, you watch TV, you know. So when you're a guy, you gotta get jumped into the game. And when you're a girl, you gotta get jumped into the game. Erica wanted out. She wanted out of the game. She wanted to be a cheerleader. She wanted to better her life. She wanted better for herself. And this is where she ended. This is where it led her. Her so-called friends didn't want to see her succeed. Her so-called friends didn't care about her potential. Her so-called friends wasn't worried about her mother, wasn't worried about her aunt, wasn't worried. They just cared about what they wanted and what they had going on and what was mattering to them and what mattered to them. What was mattering to them? Girl, was your English teacher? What mattered to them at the moment. So, it's truly sad. The abandoned hospital, like I said, it's been demolished. So now it's just an open field. So, like I said, how do you know something? Like I always say, oh my goodness, how do you know what you know until you say what you know? You don't know that vital piece of information could be in 2 words that you can tell in a whole story. You just don't know. So let's think about June of 1997. If you were the type who was in, at the club, you mentioned, if you were one of those at the club, you mentioned June of 1997. Do you remember the space? Miss Tournament. Do you remember her face? Do you remember her talking to anyone? Do you remember her getting in a car with anyone? Do you remember her at all? Did you know her? Were you somebody that went to school with her that saw her at the club that night? Do you know her? Her family really, really needs closure. And the city of Houston really, really needs closure. This baby was 14 years old. 14. In middle school. She hadn't even made it to high school. And had already endured so much in her life to where her life was worth changing. Her life was worth leaving what I know, leaving what I love, and leaving what I believe in behind because I don't want to deal with this anymore. That's how her life was. And she went to go do that. And for her effort and for her love and for her attention and for her affection, this is what she gets. This is where she ends up. Poor Erica. Poor Erica. Poor Erica. Right? Right. So, how do you know what you know? Until you say what you know. That's my saying. put that on my shirt. Like, make me a shirt. How do you know what you know? Oh, because how do you know what you know? How? If you just so happen to be someone who was at the club that night and might have some type of information of what could have possibly happened there, or if you are somebody who might know these two individuals who the police say that they know, but that they know were at the scene, you know, it's time to reopen this case. It's time to pull that box down off the shelf. If you know my shows, know me. I can't stand the box on the shelf. I can't stand the file in the file cabinet. That's a person's everything for you to help me get me. So let's get that box off the shelf. Let's get her file out the cabinet and let's work on it. Let's get this DNA ran on these two individuals that you know of. But if you are somebody who has a family member who came home from a club one night, June, all tripping, you know, or if you are the whole girl, what really happened that night? You know what I'm saying? It's 25 years later. What happened that night? Boyfriend, she went with you to the club. What happened that night? How you let your girlfriend leave and this happened to your girlfriend? What happened that night? You know. So here you go. Call Houston Cold Case Squad at the 713 at 713-308-3618. Or you can always stay anonymous at 713-222-TIPS. But y'all, like I always say, you know what I mean? If you're not interested in talking to the man, you don't want him to know nothing about your name, your number, your address, your voice, no nothing. You can always please reach out to your girl, Cass, at foxfylez@gmail.com. And I will retweet and I will get back with you. If it's a story that you want me to talk about, that's a cold case here in Houston. It doesn't matter the race, it doesn't matter the gender. If it's a cold case here in Houston, let's break it up. Let's put pressure on H-Town to open it back up. Let's put pressure on H-Town to open it back up. What you gonna do? What you gonna do? They gonna let young Erica just sit there? Or gonna let young Erica just 14 years old, 25 years old? That baby will be 29 years old right now. 39 years old right now. What we're gonna do? So, just a little disclaimer. I'm gonna put that out there last. Give you the goods last. There is, in fact, a $5,000 reward for anyone who knows anything, especially about these individuals. Anything who can tell them what to lead up to an arrest. Or get it out. Anything you can say that you know lead up to an arrest. That's a $5,000 reward. It sucks for me because I don't know the situation. Because I can use the $5,000. I don't know what your life looks like. You know what I'm saying? But my life can use $5,000 right now. So look here. And if you are the person who knows the information, you know, you reach out, you contact these individuals, you get the change. You know what I'm saying? I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding as I joke. Anyway, so yes, ladies and gents, that was my beautiful soul, Erica Garcia, from teenage club to abandoned hospital. Justice for Erica. What are you going to do, H? Right? So as I'm going along, it brings me to my next segment, which is very, very close to heart. Say that. Very close to heart. And yeah, very close to heart. Okay. So this is my segment of Dear Sister. ... A letter to let you know that you are not forgotten. You are not forgotten. And this letter is this story is my letter to the murdered Black ladies, Black girls, Black females, Indigenous ladies, indigenous girls, indigenous people, Hispanic ladies, Hispanic girls, and Hispanic people. I'm saying it like that because I want you to understand that I'm talking about all these categories of ladies, all of them, because we are the ones who are tossed by the wayside and forgotten about. We are the ones who are like expendable. Young black girl missing, who cares? Indigenous girl murdered, who cares? Hispanic girl sex trafficked, who cares? You know what I mean? So we have to hold ourselves accountable as minority citizens in this beautiful country. Because I love the country. Don't get me wrong, proud to be in it. You know what I'm saying? But if we don't stand up for us, how can we expect anybody else? How? If we sit back and want the man to do everything for us, then how are we supposed to get anything done? You can't. You can't. So here I am using the platform that I created. This is not a monetary gain at all. This is an informative show. This is a show to help families if I can. You know, I bring these things up because I'm hoping that somebody can hear this and would recognize this, or somebody would hear this and will be holding a conversation about this show, about my show. Foxxx Fylez was talking about this. Foxxx Fylez was talking about that. Oh my gosh, my grandma had a. Oh my goodness, my sister. You know what I mean? So this is what I do. We have to use our own resources. They pull their resources together. They pull their resources together, and they will give you media advertisement every day, all day. Blonde hair, blue eyed, brunette, this, that. If she's missing, they pull their resources together because and we don't. So we need to do better for our own community and pull our resources together. And this is what I can bring to the table. And this is my platform. This is what I can bring to the table. And that's, like I said, knowledge. So, dear sister, ... a letter to let you know that you are not forgotten. And today, my dear sister's case is Philadelphia Jane Doe, who I call her Jan Doe. Case number 84-5583. 84-5583. And the headline reads, the little girl on Column Street. Podcast saying November 25th, around Thanksgiving. November 25th, 1984, around Thanksgiving holiday, a couple was out walking their Doberman Pincer dog named Avery. They were in the woods, just like they always do. Walking in the woods, dog can do his business, and they, just like they always do. And he is always known to run off and bring back inanimate objects. Always, he does that. He bring them back and run off, and hide them, he bury them. But this day, on this Thanksgiving day, he brings back a bone, like something to them, and it's when they examine it, it's a portion of the skull. A portion of the skull. So frantic, they don't know what to do. They call the police on out, and what's that? So the police look at it. It is indeed a portion of a skull. So now they're forced with trying to figure out what is going on. You know what I'm saying? So they scour the area, they look around, and they can find more pieces of the skull. So they find out that the skull comes from Western Wood Park in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. So during the initial search, the police were only able to find a few more fragments of the skull. In the wooded area, and in house backyards around the woods. Like these houses, like right up in here, You can see like this when they were able to find them, and this house is far in the back. So all scattered up here were just skull bones. They attempted to get Aries to take them back. Authorities did to take them to where he found the skull at, but it was so that Aries couldn't take it. It is what it is. It's a dog. So they take it back to where you were and go take you. You got a dog that can do that. You got a dog. Anyway, so the medical examiner had no choice but to take whatever they had. She had back to the morgue and to do her examination. Now the couple did within like weeks after this report to the police that Aries did bring more bones back. But by the time they were able to catch him and get him, he ran off and buried them somewhere. So they couldn't get any more of the bones. So all they had was fragments of the skull. So once the medical examiner does the evidence, they immediately realize that this is, in fact, the skull of a young girl between the ages of 4 and 6 years old. 4 and 6 years old, young black girl, 1984. That's my age. Again, I hate to keep being narcissistic about the situation, but it's not really narcissism when you look at a situation when you were the same age at the same time of the situation. This little girl is the same age that I was in 1984, around the same age, 5 years old, maybe. Thanksgiving. So, the skull belonged to a young black girl whose age is believed to be in between 4 and 6 years old. And they believe she had been dead for about a year, but knowing the cause of death is impossible because they only have fragments of the skull. They don't even have a whole skeleton. They just have fragments of the skull. So unable to find any missing person report who matches the minimum description of this young Jane Doe, they have no luck again. So this baby is again out of luck. And without more remains, they had nothing to really go on. So, but fortunately, for young Jane 84-5583, there was enough skull to reconstruct a possible face. This is what it is believed that this baby looks like. This is what they believe her to look like. People want to draw it. Gorgeous little girl. I'm sorry. Just, oh my gosh. Whew. Right? After running out of clues to help them lead to the name of this little girl, the Philadelphia police figured that they would at least give her some kind of dignity for the remainder of this process. You know what I'm saying? Because she had to have had another life. She's been discarded like that. And then if reported missing, not found, or if not reported missing, you know, how do you not know that the 4-year-old is all of a sudden gone now? Judy had a little girl last. You know what I mean? People on him, how do you not recognize that the baby's gone? And no matter what city it is. So Philadelphia decides to go ahead and bury her, give her like her own little personal ceremony as baby Jane, Jane Doe. I call her Jane Doe because she's a baby. That's my Jane Doe, but they call her Jane Doe. At the Potter's Field on Dunk's Ferry Road. So she's buried in an unmarked grave at the Potter's Field on Dunk's Ferry Road. And this is Philadelphia's historical field for the unknown, unclaimed, and indigent are laid to rest. So This field has nothing but unidentified bones, unclaimed people, and then people who just happen to die on the side of the road. You know what I'm saying? And just was found in the woods or whatever the case is. This is where they put them. Potter's Road, on Potter's Field on Dunsferry Road, and it was the last cemetery that was built in Philadelphia. The Dunks Cemetery was the last cemetery built in Philadelphia. So, what on? Years after little Jane Doe's body was buried there, the cemetery was closed down. Oh, I mean, the first. That's what I typed that wrong. Dunk Cemetery was the first in Philadelphia. And a few years after Jane Doe was buried there, it was closed. But the child's remained stable. And years ago. So they closed the cemetery down, years after they put her there. And then just left them. Then they closed the cemetery, left her there. And there just so happened to be another unidentified body known as the boy in the box. And it's because he was found in the box. And he was actually the first person buried at the Potter's Field. And he was exhumed and moved to the Ivy Hill Cemetery in Cedarbrook when Potter's Field was closed. So they exhumed him and took him on over to another grave when they closed down Potter's Field. So he went to the Ivy Hill Cemetery in Cedarbrook. So they moved him, but they didn't move her, right? Okay. So luckily today, I'm not gonna go deep into the boy in the box, but he has been identified. On the news they showed last week, it says December the 21st. So on the news last week, like December the 15th, 16th, 17th of 2022, they have finally identified this boy in the box. That was the first person buried at the Potter's Field Cemetery. Right? Amazing. And it turned out that this baby had been dead since 1957. So that's amazing. But that's not good. So in 1998, they dug the little boy up in 1998. That's when they dug him up. They exhumed his body in 1998 to begin processing him. Finally. They couldn't do anything about it in the 50s, so they put him in the Potter's Field. They moved him out of the Potter's Field in the 80s and moved him to Cedarbrook. Then in 1998, they exhumed him to start working on the case. And in 2022, 24 years later, they finally found out. Now, you know who he is. Gotta find out what he comes from, right? That's the next goal. Anyway, so once they dug him up, they decided, was to exhume him. The Philadelphia police and the medical examiner and the district attorney and all the people involved decides, let's go get all the other kids left behind in the Potter's Field, which is Jane Doe 84-5583, and 6 more children that are unclaimed. 6 more children that are unclaimed, unidentified, were still baby at Potter's Field. They were able to exhume the other 6. They cannot find baby Jane. They cannot locate where they put her in Potter's Field. They had a total of 6 different agencies working to find her. And they had no luck on finding her bones back in 1998. Don't forget that it was 24 years ago since they had searched for this body. And this is Philadelphia. There's no telling how the weather has been. Anybody can purchase this land. and dig on this land. It was closed down. So she will be found. She will be found. There's no doubt in my mind that they will not find her. You know, that they will find her. And then okay, find out where she comes from. Because I know somebody knows of a little girl who resembles this, who could possibly look like this, and went missing in 1983. Because they're thinking that she had been dead for a year, and she'd been found in 1984. So 1983, I know you know something. Are you a sibling whose sibling went missing? Were you 6 and you can kind of vaguely remember having a sister? Was she in the foster system? It's a lot of questions about this. And then why can't we find her? What is it? You know, why can't we find her? So in 1998, like I said, 1998, the IFA, that's Institute of Forensic Anthropology and Applied Science of South Florida hosted an exhibition for forensic reconstruction of unidentified decedents from around the United States. There were 20 different unidentified people, most of which were homicide victims, on display at the Tampa Bay History Center. So the University of South Florida's Institute for Forensic Anthropology and Applied Science put a display of individuals who they put images of individuals, because this is what they do at this forensic center. They reconstruct faces, they reconstruct skulls, they reconstruct bones to try to find anyone who can recognize these images because of these faces. Because we don't know. And of course, this is not her actual bones inside of it. This is reconstruction bones, like paper mache, if you will. So they set up an exhibit. I tried to get images of this exhibit, but the way they have them put up there, these images, it's not compatible with my system, I'm assuming, or whatever. Anyway, but you can always Google this. The University of South Florida Institute of Institute of Anthropology and Applied Science, and look for the Tampa Bay History Museum, and they will show you the images. They will show you the cat of the unidentified faces. And can you recognize it? Do you know this little girl? The hair must have been something else that was found as well. Along, they say they found other pieces of the skull. Because how would you know her hair was like this? You didn't know. You know, this is like, so does this hairstyle look familiar to you? Does anything about this young girl look familiar to you? You know who are you missing anybody in your family? I just keep saying it. Are you missing somebody in your family? But again, it's 2022. We can get a couple more people out there in Philadelphia to try to search grounds again. Philadelphia, to try to find this guy in Philadelphia. Let's get on out there and find her skull. And let's go back to Western Park. Let's see if we can find more pieces of her bones. See if we can find more pieces of her body. Let's try to go back out there and see what else can be done. There's something else about. Sadly, her remains still are uncovered, and they still remain somewhere scattered about the Pottersfield on Dunks Ferry Road and in Westerwood Park and the surrounding area. So we need to Philadelphia. Yeah, if you're in Philly, you here, you watching the show, thank you first of all. Hey, welcome to Philly. How you doing? Secondly, come on, let's go to the Pottersfield on Dunks Ferry Road and see if we can find anything to find the skull. And then if we can't find it, then let's go on over to Westerwood Park and see we can find pieces there. If you live that way, out that way, look in the backyard. Help us find pieces of this because she needs rest. I don't even know if I want to say her family needs clothes because a family that's not looking, a family that has no concern, don't need no clothes. But the city of Philadelphia, the city of Philadelphia needs to put this baby's soul to rest. But first and foremost, we gotta find out who she is. So again, like I always say, how do you know what you know unless you say what it is that you know? What it is that you know. So if you think you might know something about who this young girl may be, or if you might know something about a young girl that did come up missing in the 80s, if you were her teacher, her daycare teacher, if like I say, foster system, if you are a foster social worker in the 80s, you cannot find a girl that just came up missing and trying to tell you something. Please reach out to Philadelphia Police Department Homicide Division at 215-686-3280, 215-686-3280, or you can always stay anonymous and call that tip line, which is 215-686-TIPS. But if you're not interested in calling down to Philadelphia, you don't need, you know what I'm saying, you don't want Philadelphia all in your business. You don't want Philadelphia knowing anything about you. You can always stay here local and reach out to H-Town Police Department. The cold case squad is 713-308-3618. And the hotline is, the anonymous hotline is 713-222-TIPS. But again, I disclaimer, you ain't, or if you're not one of those ones, you want to talk to them, who's interested in what the man got to say, you want the man to know anything about you, you don't have nothing to do with it, please reach out to your girl at foxxfylez@gmail.com. That's email me a story. If you have anything, a missing person, a murdered woman, kidnapped, rape, you know what I'm saying? Cases can be solved with my dear sisters. It's just me bringing you knowledge, dear sisters. I also do cases that are unsolved with my dear sisters. So that's that. So again, how do you know what you know until you say what you know? I want to tell Philadelphia's Jan Doe case number 84-5583 that you are my sister. You, my sweet, are not that. All right, guys, that wraps up my show for today. I thank you so much for tuning in to Foxxx Fylez, Cold and Unsolved. Episode 4, I guess 3, 5, I don't know. I'm just making them. I need to get back to making more. Anyway, I'm not going to keep on rambling. Thank you again for tuning in. If you lasted this long and stayed through the whole show, kudos. Thank you. That means to me that you are engaged. To me, that means that you want to make a difference. To me, that means that you want to make a change. And if that's the case, reach out to me. You can always leave a comment in my on the YouTube thing, comment reel. Or you can send me an email at foxxfylez@gmail.com. No problem. Send me an email, reach out to me, give me a comment. Tell me, what you think about the videos. Also, like and subscribe to the channel. I want this information to get out there to as many people as possible. So I need you all to help get me out there. If you could do that, that'd be great. Truly appreciate it. I want to tell you all again, thank you. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for paying attention. And thank you for staying. I'm fast. H-Town's Brat. This has been Foxxx Fylez, Cold and Unsolved.